I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
What's happening? What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 134 of Strap Season Podcast. As always, I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, guys, please head over to Strap Season Pod or Strap Season Podcast. That's our Twitter and Instagram pages. And in the bio of those pages there, you'll see a link that will take you to where we're situated at streaming-wise, whether that's audio, such as Spotify, etc., or visuals. We've got the YouTube channel up and running as well. Make sure you give us a like, subscribe, leave us a good review, all of that good stuff. But Flowz, how are you, first and foremost? You good? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm in good spirits. I think with this episode of Flowz, I just want to say straight away, real boxing's back.
Yeah.
we got real boxing back.
Bro.
And I say that because, go on for it.
I had to dabble in UFC over the weekend, and it's not it, man. UFC can stay over there.
Yeah, man. That's how you know. We were feeling for something, Flowz, because I'll never tune into UFC. I'll be honest. I've never had interest. Even the big ones. I think the last UFC card I tuned into was McGregor, Khabib, innit?
Yeah.
But yeah, usually when it's big, I just air it. But I was feeling to watch something last night. I'm there thinking, I don't even tune. Let me just tune into this Edwards thingy fight, see what he's saying. But yeah, man, I hastily got out there real quick afterwards when it was done. But Flowz, I say real boxing's back because obviously these last couple of weeks have been a bit of a struggle. I guess for us, for me especially anyway, so just in terms of just good fights and fights to go up for, etc., etc. But we finally got something that is worth standing up for, I think, and sinking our teeth into. And I want to go straight into it, Flowz. So let's talking about next week, our preview of David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant. I think this is a fight that, when it was announced, top of the year, first quarter of the year, we were both like, yes, rubbing our hands, circled it in the calendar and whatnot. Mad happy for it. But yeah, it's finally here, Flowz. It's taken a while, but it's finally here. This is a fight that it's been talked about for a while, even before it got announced, Flowz, isn't it? Like, these two, I think they've had back and forths, and they got earmarked as two potential guys that will fight at some point. But yeah, it's finally here. Benavidez Plant. We've seen the kickoff presser, we've seen the antics, etc. It's interesting, Flowz, because this is a 50-50 fight. I think you can agree with me there. Yeah. Easily a 50-50 fight.
Yeah.
But I feel like both of us seem very confident in who we think is going to win. And Flowz, I'm intrigued to hear why for you, because we're both pulling for Caleb Plant with this one.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued as to why you're so confident Plant's going to do it.
I think Benavidez might be slight favourite with the bookies and with the general public,
I think I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I think that's just due to him. He probably has a better knockout ratio. He's slightly bigger. He's bigger, isn't he? He's bigger. But for me, Caleb Plant is the slicker boxer. I'll be real. When I've watched David Benavidez, I've always thought he can improve. That I'll be so real. I've never thought this kid is the one. The same way other people think he's.
You never bought into the hype. I know that. Actually, yeah, I know that.
And his level of opposition hasn't been fantastic to me. It's not like, okay, he's done this against someone brilliant.
Yeah.
I see holes in his game. He's got the power and he's got the engine. He's relentless. I'll say that. He throws combos. He's got tools. But in terms of boxing, he gets hit. Who was it? Darrell was piecing him up for a long time in that fight. Was giving him hell.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it'll come down to. I think Caleb Plant will give him trouble with how good he is in terms of pure boxing, jabbing, moving. Can fight on the inside. Caleb Plant can, what's he called? His defense is better than Benavidez. So I think he'll outbox him. That's my opinion.
So you're leaning on the boxing ability of Plant?
Yeah. I think he's slicker. I think he's the better boxer. That's I'm rooting for him.
Everything you say is factual, I think, Flowz. Plant is the better boxer. Slicker, better on the outside. I fancy him on the outside and as you say, he can fight on the inside. I say it's 50-50 because even though you might say resume-wise, they're not too dissimilar, Plant probably has been in with the better guys. I mean, Durrell's best, I mean, not Durrell, Benavidez's best friends, I think we both earmarked it as probably David Lemieux. And over the hill, David Lemieux. Whilst Plant has been, he beat whose category when whose category was considered the boogeyman of the division. And obviously, he was in with Canelo. He lost to Canelo, but he still gave a good, credible effort. So, yeah, I think Plant's resume is slightly better. I fancy Plant for this fight because of the fact that, yeah, his boxing ability to me is superior. And outside of boxing ability, if I'm looking at just intangible attributes, just based on what we're seeing from the build-up in just the way Benavidez is moving, I don't like it. Remind
the listeners, please.
Well, I mean, the kickoff presser between them, Benavidez just came in with this super, aggressive, I'm the man, I'm the big dog kind of demeanor. And they were giving their speeches, obviously they speak and whatnot. And he was coming on the straight, I'm going to disrespect you, Tip, you're a dickhead, you're a bitch, you're a hoe kind of thing. And he kept standing up and as in he was going to do something and fight and then go and sit down. He stood up 3 times. 3 times he stood up, acting like he was going to do. This is when Plant was on the podium talking his side. 3 times he stood up like he was about to start fight and start beef and set pace. 3 times he sat down. Does that really touch on someone who's really about it? If they do it 3 times, not once, not twice, 3 times he did it. Go up, sat back down like a jack in the box. And then obviously when it was his turn to be on the podium to sort of give his thoughts on the fight and whatnot, he's there coming with a proper disrespectful tirade against Caleb Plant, but he's reading off his phone.
Yeah,
he's reading the speech off his phone. So it doesn't. What the energy you're giving and what I'm seeing in person, what I'm looking at you watching, it doesn't match. The energy ain't matching. It's not the same energy.
Forced. It seems forced.
Mad force. He's giving me the vibes that he's giving me for this entire thing is someone that's forcing this beef, forcing this persona that I'm a goon. To be fair, I think the Benavidez I think you pointed out for us that they actually might be gooned up, to be fair, but that's another. But he's giving that energy of rah, 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 rah. I'm that guy. And to me, it's looking hella forced. Whilst on the flip side of things, Flowz, Caleb Plant's demeanor. Caleb Plant always comes across as someone that is, apart from when Canelo aside, because he got riled out of his cage there. But overall, Caleb Plant's someone that gives you that calm, mad confidence demeanor. I'm the guy, but I don't need to shout about it. You know how they always say the loudest in the room is always the weakest in the room. That's what Benavidez is looking at right now. While Plant is chilled, composed, very confident that he's going to win, and he doesn't need to scream and shout about it. And he's not letting Benavidez is, angry, rattle him at all. He's just like, bro, you're not scary. You're not scary to me. You can shout as much as you want. You can shout till you're blue in the face. It does not move me. And I'm going to show you how to box on Saturday. So that's why I'm liking the way Caleb Plant's handled all of this that Benavidez is coming with. And yeah, I lean on his boxing ability. It's interesting because I want to highlight Benavidez's weapons because he does have weapons, Flowz. I know I'm probably a bigger fan of him than you are. I do recognize his flaws and that, yes, he is defensively a bit suspect, and we've seen him touch canvas. Yeah. Seen him go down. We've seen both of them go down.
I guess so. What's it? A Roland Gavril?
Yeah, I was no. Hey, that's Roland the Frill. That's the Frill Gavril.
Yeah, Roland Gavril.
That first fight, Gavril gave him hell. It was SD, and they had to run it back because of how bad it was. But yeah, Gavril gave him hell. But yeah, he gets hit. But offensively, I'll probably say Benavidez is actually, I'll go as far as to say he's probably one of the most exciting fighters to watch offensively in boxing. I say it because of the fact that, he comes, as you said, engine, very, very fast hands, and blistering combos. When he gets going with his combos, it's crazy. He can really put them bitches together. He really knows how to throw the combos, and he carries power. He stops most of the opponents. So he is definitely a fearsome prospect to deal with in that sense. But again, I've always liked Caleb Plant's demeanor in the ring. He's very composed, very classy, very slick, doesn't get rattled. He lost to Canelo. That's not a black mark against him. Everyone loses to Canelo for the most part. So let's be real. Only 2 people have beaten Canelo. So it's not and to me in that fight, Flowz, I thought he was doing superbly in that fight up until when he got stopped. I thought he was doing very well. He was actually outboxing Canelo in portion. So yeah, man, I lean towards just his counter punching and his ability to punch and fight on the outside and inside if he has to be, and his defense winning this fight. I don't know if it's funny because every time I count Caleb Plant and saying he won't stop the guy, he actually has sneaky power, as we've seen. He stops guys, so he might catch him and might stop him. But I'm expecting maybe to go the distance. But yeah, it's so interesting to me how both of us are like, we're quite confident that we're both said Caleb Plant's going to do it, and it actually is a 50-50 list. It's not a foregone conclusion. If Benavidez does win, that's not a big upset or anything. He's the favorite for a reason, actually. So yeah, he's good. Benavidez is good. He's not food.
Yeah, I want to shout these two out because in a year when we've been calling for this fight for time, to be honest, this fight has been like four years in the making.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe even 2 years. You're right. Maybe even 4 years in the making. Yeah,
because I can't remember when they had that clash in the gym where
they
went it turned into a real scuffle.
Yeah,
but that must have been like 4 years ago, maybe 3.
Maybe.
But yeah, we've been calling on this fight for some time. They've had back and forth for some time now.
Yep.
And I think in this era where everyone's waiting on Canelo, it's good that these two men have decided to get it on. So commendable. Other people should take note.
Yeah, facts. I agree with that, Flowz. It's interesting, obviously, we mentioned the Canelo factor actually, because it's weird because for me, obviously, I want Caleb Plant to win. And I think he will win. But I think it's actually best if Benavidez wins, as in for the division. Yeah. It's weird when I say that. Listen, I say that because of the fact that we're expecting that the winner of this really is putting himself in pole position to have a shot at Canelo, who's obviously got all the belts. It's for the WC interim title even. But yeah, this is really just we called for it in this pod before that these Canelo hopefuls should fight themselves and prove that you should get a shot at Canelo. And this is one of the fights that we called for, when it flows. We said Plant and Benavidez have to fight. The winner should then have a right to fight Canelo. And we've already obviously seen Canelo dispatch Caleb Plant. So him winning this, even though I want him to win, I'm not as keen as seeing Plant versus Canelo 2. Even though, of course, I'll still watch it and we're still going to review it if it happens. But really and truly, I kind of want to see someone new versus Canelo. And that's obviously going to be Benavidez. And I feel like the Benavidez Canelo fight even has a bit more. I don't know. I think there's a bit more. You can sell it more.
Yeah.
Both Mexican. Benavidez, that goes by the Mexican monster. He's Mexican American. Canelo's actually Mexican. They can probably have that fight in Mexico somewhere even and sell out one of their massive arenas there. So I think it's more sellable and it has more to offer as opposed to seeing Plant versus Canelo 2. I think the casuals would be like, oh, but he's already knocked this guy out. And even though we criticize casuals for trying to put Benavidez in that bracket with Canelo, they will naturally gravitate towards Benavidez Canelo because they see Benavidez as a monster who's someone that can even potentially beat Canelo. They even say Canelo's ducking Benavidez, right? You see that? So
it's crazy.
So I know Flowz as well. You would love to put that to rest as well.
But Benavidez hype train is unbelievable. There's certain people in America that they just get some mad PR on. Yeah. Where people say, oh yeah, why doesn't Canelo fight Benavidez?
Is that Cruz?
And I promise you, these people couldn't name 3 times they've watched Benavidez fight.
Yeah.
Because if you have,
Flowz, they've just seen
say this.
Flowz, they've just seen the fact, obviously, if they chop up the highlights, it's like football Twitter. When we see the football highlights, you can put anything look good in the highlights, right? And Benavidez is the type of fight that look amazing in some highlight reels because of how quick he punches. You know what I mean? That's what they've seen of him. Oh, this guy's a monster.
Round 1 to the knockout, I'm always asking questions of him against genuine foods. But to be fair, sometimes when you're fighting foods, because he has fought foods, let's not pretend that when you're fighting food, sometimes it's hard to look amazing. Sometimes because
I agree.
So maybe that's the case with David Benavidez. But we've seen him touch the canvas, and people forget that for some reason. We've seen him struggle. I've seen Darrell piecing him up for rounds. And so I'm not the same hype train that everyone else is. I don't think people should dare say Canelo's ducking this guy or this guy can beat Canelo. Yeah. Because I haven't seen what it's based on. It's based on hope and based on potential.
Question for you, Flowz. Does Benavidez, in terms of your decision making, in terms of, well, I guess your views on Benavidez as well, does his unprofessionalism, because he's had issues with his unprofessionalism in the past, does that factor at all into your opinion of him at all?
In the sense that when he's demanding shots, he could have had a shot because he's lost his title on the scale
twice.
Once or twice?
Twice now.
Twice. Yeah. So don't.
One was scales, one was cocaine.
Yeah. That's exactly. Yeah, and he was getting angry at the cocaine stuff.
Facts. It was facts.
You're the one who done cocaine, so don't get angry about it. That's your fault. It's on you. You're angry at yourself. So don't blame anyone else. Don't say anyone else is avoiding you because you could have put yourself in a position where you're managed. You hold the belt. He has to come and get it off you. But you were doing what you done. You've been unprofessional. I don't dislike Benavidez. I dislike the people who are overly hyping him.
Yeah,
a bit too much. Like he's good. Don't get me wrong. He's rightfully probably favorite.
Yeah.
I think he's favorite. So you can either say it's a 55-45 favor to him as opposed to 50-50. But I just don't like when people raise champions out of nowhere.
Raise them to a standard which they haven't earned it yet. Yeah.
I've heard people say Victor Ortiz was going to beat Mayweather. It's not the same thing. Like, what are you talking about? Just because you want someone to
I remember that Victor Ortiz fight was the way people would say this is mad dangerous.
It's southpaw, can punch,
comes strong, bigger than him. Blah, blah. I said, here we go again. You lot create. They always create when it came to Mayweather as well. The way fans will create idols and heroes out of guys that haven't earned that respect yet.
This is the guy's gonna do it.
Maidana was the worst one, but anyways. Yeah. They raised that so much they had to run it back because they kept trying to say that Maidana was mad close. Like some people said Maidana won that fight. That first fight they said he won. That's why Mayweather ran it back. He said, "Wait," he said, "You lot are joking me." Nah, okay, cool.
Yeah, funny. But to me, that's what they're doing with David Benavidez. Yeah. Granted, he might prove me wrong, but it'll be a shock to me.
Yeah. So both expecting Benavidez. I mean, not Benavidez, Plant W's. Do you think it'd be a good fight, Flowz?
Oh yeah. I think the needle's there.
Yeah,
it'll be a good fight for sure.
I think important. It might be tactical at first, even like a bit cagey, but there'll be a round where it just explodes, and then we'll probably see them. But man. It's like I said, it's a true 50-50 for me, and I'm looking forward to it. I hope Plant takes it, but again, I wouldn't be mad if Benavidez wins. This is definitely a statement win for Benavidez if he does it though. So let's see if he's worth the hype, and then obviously Flowz, I know if he does win, you already find his hype train, his hypers annoying. You're gonna hate them so much. Because they're going to be acting Canelo like crazy.
Because they're already being annoyed with Canelo right now. They're saying, why is he taking John Ryder? John Ryder is mandatory.
Yeah.
He's getting him out the way.
People always forget mandatory suddenly. Yeah.
It's mandatory. Because you're not used to seeing your champions holding belts and staying. When you're a champion, you hold belts. The same with AJ, you have to fight your mandatories. And that's what Canelo's been doing. So people still bringing up your dream and saying, that why is he fighting John Ryder now?
Yeah.
It's a mandatory.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
The people that you say he was ducking could have been mandatory.
If they weren't waiting. Yeah.
Boo boo. Because he was meant to fight Zach Parker. Pulled out. John Ryder fought Zach Parker, beat Zach Parker.
Yeah.
And now look. So all these men are sitting on the couch, waiting, not fighting anyone, not taking risks. You could have been there.
Boo Boo's kicking himself, but I think the Boo Boo thing was an injury, to be fair, but that's still another. It's always something with Boo Boo, unfortunately. So it's what it is. But bro, Plant Benavidez, I'm mad excited for it. This is a fight I've been looking forward to for a number of weeks. I can't wait for it, man. Like I'm looking forward to hopefully those boys cue us to a good fight, and the needle spores into the ring as well. I want to see them talking to each other. You know what I mean? Yeah. I want to see them drawing at each other. You get me? But I look forward to that for sure. Let's move across to the cruiserweight division, Flowz, because it's not a big fight, but it is worth mentioning. Okolie is fighting on the weekend. This will be his debut for a boxer. So Okolie back on Sky Sports. It's his. I think it's his mandatory, isn't it, Flowz? Against a guy called David Light. Is it a
I
mandatory
don't
or is
think
it
so.
voluntary? It
I
might be
think it's
voluntary.
voluntary. I think it's
Right.
voluntary
Okay.
still.
Right. Okay. This David
Yeah.
Light guy is from New Zealand. He's unbeaten.
Never seen it.
Yeah, never seen him or heard of him, but brings an unbeaten record, and yeah, he's an unknown quantity. I'm looking at his. I'm trying to think if there's anyone I know of in his resume that he's beaten. And if I'm being honest, there is absolutely no one. Bunch of guys over in New Zealand, Australia sides. So yeah, is what it is. But I guess what we can expect from this one is obviously Okolie, because he's changed trainers, isn't he? He's no longer with McGuigan because he moved out to Dubai.
Yeah.
He is now with American. He's with Manuel Stewart. He's with Manuel Stewart now. Yeah, sorry, I said Manuel Stewart. His nephew, Sugar Hill. Yeah, he's now with Sugar Hill Stewart. So let's see that. Good move. I mean, it's interesting because we were saying how we like Shane McGuigan's work with Okolie.
Yeah,
Shane had made them a lot more offensive and better to watch because obviously the criticism of Okolie is that he's not nice to watch, as Flowz expertly coined before in this pod, villainous style. And we were saying that at least McGuigan's got him opening up more. His fights look a bit more exciting, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, moving to Sugar Hill Stewart is interesting because that's also another guy that's quite renowned for making his fighters a bit more offensive and looking better, as you see with Tyson Fury. Under Sugar Hill's tutelage, Tyson Fury's now turned into a knockout artist who's in exciting fights. So I'm intrigued to see if that works with Okolie as well. It's good for him and his brand. And we obviously know what's going to be talked about if he does get the W post-fight. We know who's going to be in attendance, Flowz, ringside, probably commentating on it. Because they always have him there on the yeah. So yeah,
Flowz, the 6'4" suit.
What, the court suit? Yeah. So Flowz, are we expecting a little Riakpo confrontation afterwards? Either in the ring or outside the ring or something.
They have to do something because this fight ain't it. So they better have Riakpo there.
Yeah.
And they have a face-off or something because this fight is, I guess it's an intro to the platform, but yeah, Okolie don't need light touches at this point, really.
Yeah. For me, it's interesting, right? If the Riakpo fight does happen next. So obviously we know that's massive for the UK and stuff. I guess Riakpo kind of has worked his way up into a position where he can challenge now. I'm pretty sure he's might be number one contender for one of the belts, maybe. But I know Okolie's goal, he said was always to unify. But it seems like this division here is tough to unify because no one seems to want to fight each other. You've got champions that, as we found out, had been inactive for a year and a half without any defenses, etc., etc. So I don't know what one for this division. Maybe at this point, Flowz, is it even worth unifying the cruiserweight division? Maybe you cash out with a Riakpo fight and then move up. I don't know. That could be what he's thinking now because I don't know if he's ever going to fight this Opatai. Obviously, I know Opatai has been calling him out, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Gumalarion and now Badu Jack. I don't even know if these fights are really going to go down. So, is there even money in these fights? Riakpo is probably the biggest fight he can make at this point, isn't
it? Yeah. Facts. But obviously, Okolie had the whole contract disputes with Matchroom, which is why he did the fight that happened. I think he's fought once last year, and that was it. So maybe this is just a tune-up for him. But yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
The division.
We've said it before. It's very, very stagnant and dry division. I thought Okolie could be that person that can I don't know, give it some brightness. But even he seems to have obviously the contract situation, as you say, but even he seems to have been dragged down by just how dark and dry this division is, which is a shame. But yeah, hopefully we get a bit of Riakpo face off or talk, back and forth talking. I think that'd be cool. And yeah, I think to me at this point, that's probably the biggest fight he can make, which says that all really, because Riakpo's not even the champion. But I guess from a UK perspective, that's what people want to see now. So and that could do it though too. That could sell out a young O2, maybe. So if a good card in the card, I think I can sell out the O2. So yeah, we'll see how he does. But yeah, I'm more looking forward to seeing how he looks on the Sugar Hill flows. I'm more intrigued to see what he does there. But yeah, that's a Okolie light. It is worth. I mean, I say it's worth mentioning, but there were 2 fights on the weekend. Well, it's interesting because last week we mentioned briefly before the end that Zerdo was fighting Gabe Rosado.
Oh yes.
So we mentioned that we didn't dive depth into it, but we mentioned in listeners if you want some fight that's on. That fight got cancelled because of the fact that this guy Zerdo Flowz is fighting at 175. Homie turned up weighing 187 pounds. That's what kind of weight miss is that? That's mad. Usually, Flowz, when we hear the miss rate, it's usually like max 5 pounds. Bro, 4 pounds.
Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah,
and then
crazy.
Apparently they managed to get it down to 182, but then obviously that must have been disgusting.
Yeah.
For him to get that to 180, that must have been a nasty sauna sitting or something before they gave up. I'm like, yeah. So they had to cancel that fight. So that main event got cancelled. So those obviously he's really giving his apology, saying, it's never happened to him in his career. He's never missed weight, blah, blah. He sincerely apologized, blah, 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 blah. But I'm thinking, Flowz, you mentioned it, like, did bro even try?
Yeah.
To come in at 187, did you even try? Like, what?
What type of camp? Like, yeah. That's probably what's he walking? He's walking around, weight must be stupid.
200 plus.
Yeah,
200
it must
plus.
be,
200
must
plus.
be stupid. Because he's
Flowz,
huge.
We said he's a big boy. Massive.
The fact he was what, super middle?
Bro, he started off at middleweight.
Yeah.
And then obviously he was long time champion at super middleweight. And even then, I was like, this guy's huge.
Yeah.
And then, light heavy. You saw him against Bivol, dwarfed him.
Yeah. Bivol looks small.
So, he's a big guy. And he said in the past before that he plans to move up to, after winning titles in light heavy, he wants to win a cruiser, bridger, and then heavyweight. And he can, based on what we've seen in terms of his size, he can, as you said, Flowz, he can fight in all those divisions. But I don't know if this is a one-off. Maybe I can give him a benefit of the doubt to try again to make the 175 limit. But if bro is struggling, we just move up, man. Just move up. But yeah, I think he should try again. Maybe we'll have maybe not with Gabe Rosado, but yeah, if he does have another fight at light heavy, does the camp the right way, maybe he can make it. But yeah, that is to come 12 pound over is mad. It's mad.
Yeah, nuts.
The main event, so I had to be moved to Jojo Diaz. Against some guy called Lopez, which is Jojo Diaz actually missed weight as well, Flowz, for his fight. It's the second fight in the road that Jojo Diaz has made weight. But Diaz lost by, I saw that I didn't watch the fight or anything, but he lost by SD to this Lopez guy. I think the guy, was it Lopez or something? I think some guy from the Philippines. But yeah, that card sounded like it was horrid, to be honest. But there's his own Golden Boy card, didn't sound good.
Oh yeah, Golden Boy. Yeah, it was Golden Boy.
Yeah. But yeah,
Guetta. What am I bugging? Guetta?
What, the guy that Jojo Diaz fought?
Yeah.
Let me get it. I thought it was Lopez, but maybe I'm completely wrong there. I know he's from the Philippines.
But yeah, I didn't watch it. But,
no, I didn't watch it either.
I saw that he lost
Gesta.
again.
Yeah, Mercito Gesta. Yeah, lost to Gesta. Yeah. So he's lost his last 3, Jojo Diaz.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's not looking good for him still. How old is he now?
He's only 30. Who was it that made an excuse to try to avoid Haney? Was it him?
Yeah.
He might as well pack it in for that.
Thing is, he fought Haney. He fought.
Yeah, he did. He lost Haney. Yeah.
Yeah, he eventually did fight Haney, but
Yep.
yeah, he lost. And he lost to Cepeda a year after, and then this year he's lost to this Jester guy. So yeah, it's not looking.
But you request the fight.
I'll never forget.
Craziest things I heard in boxing.
I will never forget that, man. I will never ever forget that. Crazy.
You're someone's manager. You told him, why did you requested the fight them? You said, why didn't you request it? Oh, you have a free shot.
Yeah, crazy.
Oh man.
We've seen some crazy ducks. I think we've had it before in this pod before, bro. We've seen some mad ducks. And that's probably one of the maddest I've seen to date, anyways. Hey, Flowz, your boy came back last night.
My boy.
Your Brooklyn boy, Jerome Miller, back finally. Is this? Well, I don't know if it's just. I don't know. We haven't followed his career since they found out he had the whole pharmacy injected into him. But I don't know if it's his first fight back or whatever. But
I don't think so. I think
he's been fighting.
I think he had a cover fight previously.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Fair. But he's back doing what he normally does, just talking hella smack. Yeah, he fought against Lucas Brown. I think this was in Dubai.
Right.
Came in the career heaviest. He was always one of the biggest heavyweights ever. Bro, he's coming. He was 300 pounds against AJ, right? When they went.
Yeah.
He came in 2 stone higher than that, 333 pounds.
Yeah, crazy.
21, massive, 21. And the first thing I said was, obviously, I'm not going to tune into this fight. I saw the clip of the knockout and stuff.
Yeah.
But I said to myself, I wonder if Jerome Miller still got. Let's see if he still throws over 100 punches per round at 21 stone. Let's see if he still does that, or let's see if the drugs have really worn off now. But I mean, Lucas Brown is he's food. We know Lucas Brown is food. He was never always going to do anything. Yeah, at the stoppage, I mean, off his face, Lucas Brown's face. I mean, it looked like he got the brakes beaten off him by Miller. And obviously, naturally, he's there calling out these other guys as well. Apparently, he's heard that AJ still wants to fight him, blah, 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 blah. And obviously, he attacked Hearn as usual. But yeah, he's a non-fixture in the division. No one cares about Big Baby Miller.
He seems like he's just beefing Eddie Hearn. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, big time.
Just shots at Eddie Hearn.
Because let's forget, Eddie Hearn, as soon as the drug thing came, it dropped him straight away.
Yeah.
Dropped him because don't forget, he was one of the first signings to Matchroom USA. Eddie Hearn was really pushing for him and everything. And then obviously since that happened, Hearn just dropped him real quick with the swiftness. Yeah. And since then, he's held a grudge.
Yeah. But man was injected peds. So crazy. There's no excuse there.
Speaking of Hearn, Flowz, we got to mention it, I think. Buatsi. A lot of fighters leaving Matchroom, and Buatsi is the latest high-profile fighter to leave. And Buatsi, who is a very calm, reserved sort of person, he's given interviews now speaking about how unhappy he was, how he blamed the inactivity on Matchroom, etc., etc., etc. And it's out of character for Buatsi because he's usually, like I said, this is him shooting from the hip. Usually he's very reserved, doesn't really talk too much, doesn't talk too much, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, he seemed deeply unhappy, bro. And he was going at her and sending hella shots. I can't lie.
Yeah, he was this kind of dissing the platform, the zone. He was like, it's not easy for people to watch him. He wants to be more visible.
Yeah.
And obviously, I think his response was in retaliation to obviously the report. He was kind of defending himself by firing back.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think from Matchroom Hearn's side, they've said he turned down £1 million pound deal to fight Bivol next. Yeah. And obviously, people go on to him and said, "You're ducking. You're ducking." Even though we've said he's not ready for Bivol, kind of thing. People said it's shocking for him. Like what his aspirations? He's not been active, and here's a shot. Whereas your contemporaries in Yard has had 2 title shots now and takes it immediately. Whereas, so he kind of rebutted saying he doesn't want to stay on the platform, and if he signed that deal, he would be there for 2-3 more fights, which he doesn't want to do. So yeah, it was him firing back. Well, obviously, Hearn's got an issue now with a few fighters leaving, and it seems a bit of bitter. They always say, "Oh yeah, no bad blood," but it does seem like
it always seems bitter. Yeah, it is. I'm waiting patiently for Hearn's. A long Coogan 1 hour plus interviews coming. I'm waiting for it because it's gonna be very interesting to see what he has to say about this. But yeah, it's worth paying attention to that these fighters that are leaving Matchroom with a bad taste in their mouth. And some of them are blaming it on inactivity. It's definitely worth paying attention to, Flowz, I think.
People are killing them.
That was interesting to me because usually
Yeah,
if it's anything anti-Hearn, they're quick to jump in, cook Hearn. But I was surprised to see the comments having to go at Buatsi and saying Hearn's built you up. He's he's you're no loyalty, all that kind of stuff. I think Buatsi, personally for me, Flowz, everything Buatsi said, that's true. He's justified to say that. He has every right to feel like that way. One of the things he said as well, like obviously the fighters had no choice in having to fight on DAZN.
Yeah,
when Matchroom signed, there was no choice in you can stay in Sky, blah blah. They all had to go with DAZN, no questions asked. There was no option for them. They weren't even told about it. So I understand why you'll be unhappy, and naturally, you think Sky is probably more visible for you. He kept saying, you tell people about thingy, you got to tell them to log in and sign up, and you've already lost interest from there. So I do understand his gripes there. I think the whole injury stuff is all he shay, she shay stuff, to be honest, Flowz. I don't even know if I can put any credence to that because that's just his word against theirs. But he said some of the injuries that's been reported, he said that was falsely reported, some of the injuries. He said he was only injured once, according to him. But yeah.
See, I understand some of the criticism of Buatsi because really and truly, you have been inactive. That's a fact. I remember he had the hand injury before the Vlasov one. He definitely had a hand injury because we've been seeing interviews from him saying, he'll be back at this time. He had the eye injury after the Kalic fight. So he was meant to be out sooner, but in the end didn't fight for like 6-7 months. Yeah. So I've seen that, and with the DAZN thing, really and truly, everyone uses streaming services now. Yeah. And now we've heard the news that DAZN is going to be on Sky anyway. Yeah. So I don't really think he's not a huge draw, Buatsi. The most exposure he gets has been on an AJ undercard. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I think he's likely going to fight Dan Aziz, which is a good fight, and I'd like to see it. So obviously wish him the best in his career, 100%.
Big facts. I'm intrigued to see how it goes from here. Well, it's also last thing to note as well that all these fighters leaving Matchroom. Also, it's quite clear that 258, which is AJ's management company, are linked with Matchroom because they've Okolie, Ramla Ali, Buatsi as well. They've all cut from 258 management as well. So clearly they're in cahoots there. But yeah, listeners, it's worth keeping an eye on to see what happens with this, and look forward to that Hearn interview on the YouTube as well, because that's coming, and it's gonna be explosive. But Flowz, I think it's best we leave it there. Once again, this has been episode 234 of Distracting the Podcast. I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And keep supporting, liking, subscribing. Peace.
You taking a strap? I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.